Hello, everyone. Are we live? Let's see. Can you guys see me? Type in the comments if you can see me. Yes, you can. Okay, I can't see myself, but I can see you guys. That works. I'm okay with that. Okay, now we're live. Amazing. And now I get to look at myself. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having an awesome Friday. Very excited to be doing this with the Withings team. This is a new experience for me, but being that I am postpartum and in stage of like wanting to feel good in my body again with my health and my fitness and yeah, just like reclaiming my feel good energy, right? Like this is a perfect time to do something like this. So if we haven't met, my name is Lauren and I am the founder of Risely Health. We are a team of nationally board certified health coaches that specialize in type 1 diabetes management. That is my specialty, my zone of genius. I've been type 1 diabetic since I was 7 years old. And if you don't know anything about type 1 diabetes, it is something that impacts every area of your life, and also every area of your life impacts your diabetes. And that goes without saying that a lot of different areas of your health and what you do or what you don't do, from not just nutrition, but exercise and sleep quality and your hormone regulation and things like muscle fat or muscle versus fat and percentage breakdown that we'll talk about soon. Like all that really matters for somebody with diabetes, type 1, but also impacts people that have pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, or just, anybody in general. So if you're on this live and you're type 1 and you came from my page, hi, I hope you guys are doing well, and I'm excited that you're here. And then if you came from the Withings team, it is so wonderful to meet you, and would love to, just like know in the chat if you guys want to just type in like where did you come from, or if you have type 1 or you're just like generally interested in health, that would be great. So on that note, purpose of today's call. So I'm going to share today how I've been using the Withings products. They have been a lifesaver for me and truly something that I've really enjoyed using over the past couple of months. The team reached out to me when they saw that I was, just had my first baby. Currently, right now, I'm 3.5 months postpartum, and I had shared on Instagram that I was just ready to get back to feeling like myself and wanted to like dive back into having, a routine around my fitness, my workouts, and all of that. I am in no rush to like bounce back. I'm not about like bounce back culture by any means, and I'm not like so obsessed with like weight or anything like that. But I will say that like having tools like the ones that I'm going to show you today with Withings, like they are incredibly helpful from a data perspective, because the more data you have, the more informed decisions you could be making around, your health, your routine, and it just helps you get a better ROI, right? Return on investment of the time you are spending, and creates that accountability and having like a roadmap. So for me, coming out of a place where obviously I was in like the newborn trenches with my son, there was no like walking, more than 800 steps a day kind of thing. And so getting back into everything has been a challenge in some ways, but like easier in others, because I'm kind of starting from the bottom now. And I'm like, I know I want to work my way up and just focus on, once again, feeling good. This is what this is, about, the bottom line. And for me and for many people, feeling good encapsulates having healthy blood sugars, having an increased level of insulin sensitivity, which means that the sugar is not sitting in your blood for long, right? If you're going high after a meal, you're coming down faster. And then also just like working on your body composition goals. I will say years ago, and how I got into this space was I was a Division I soccer player in college. And so when I went into college, I realized like, oh wait, like this is a next level of, focus on my body as an instrument and as a tool. And I got really into nutrition and exercise. I became a group exercise instructor. And I started noticing that like, oh wait, I actually can control how my body looks and how my body feels. And I got really passionate about it. However, it went too far to the other side where I became very obsessed. And so I had a fitness tracker at the time, a watch that I used to wear. And that plus like the scale at the gym became like something I was using on a daily basis, but it was like in a very obsessive, unhealthy way. So after I kind of like came back into balance, after years of doing that and being like, I'm never stepping on a scale or I'm never tracking my steps. Like I just don't, that's not a good mindset for me. I was like, you know what? Like I am at a healthy place with my body. I've done the work with my mindset around this, and I can get back into this place of tracking and using the data as feedback and getting really curious about it instead of just using it as a way to be judgmental about my body or where it is. So for instance, if I walk, 2,000 steps a day, I'm not like, oh my God, like I am going to gain weight, or I don't spiral into, that means my insulin sensitivity is going to go down, or my blood sugars aren't going to be good because it wasn't 10,000 steps today. It's just like, oh, that's interesting, right? Like, what can I do now tomorrow to increase that? And it's kind of like this competition that I have with myself to, push myself in this season, once again, of postpartum, where, I am kind of trying to push myself to feel good and get my cardio back up, my insulin sensitivity back up, and all of that. So with that, if you do not know Withings and this is your first time getting exposed to their brand, they had reached out to me to send me some of their products. And like I said, I don't do this often, like these types of live streams, but I love their products so much and they've really been helpful for me that I was like, yeah, I'm down to do this and talk about how they've been helpful in my journey and can possibly help you in yours. So if you're just tuning in now, I will give you there's a discount code that you can get 20% off the products within the next 24 hours if you purchase anything on their site. Transparency, I don't get any kickback from that. So I'm just here to really share my experience and talk about the products and give you more information about them if they can be helpful for you. So if you are somebody who is new to like wearable techs, I will say like the first most obvious place to start at would be wearing a fitness watch, right? You see so many people have these smart watches, and this one that I have on right now, this is the ScanWatch 2. And I don't know if you can see it here, that's a better view. But what I love about it and what got me hooked was that it's not like I don't know how to say it. It's not ugly, right? Like it is something that is sleek. Like I love the design. Like I'm wearing right now like a half athleisure outfit, but I'm on work calls all day. And so I have like this going on with this outfit. And I'm like, if this shows, like it just feels professional, right? So I really like that element to it. The things that it tracks are very much, what you would expect it to track. And then one thing that you wouldn't expect it to track that I was like, wow, I truly am so happy that it tracks this, because this is like an unlock for me. And I'll tell you about that in a second. So the first thing is that it tracks obviously like your activity, your steps, yes, but also your workouts. So you can easily press the button to start your workout once you just dial onto the screen that says workouts. And then you can also press, stop when you're ready to stop it, and it'll log it. It tracks your heart rate, it tracks your sleep, it tracks just your, like overall kind of like metrics that you're picking up throughout the day. But the one thing that it does track that I was so surprised to see was actually your cycle. So if you are somebody who has a menstrual cycle on this live right now, like there is so much power in understanding your cycles, especially if you have type 1 diabetes. If you don't, I would say the benefit of it is you're going to be able to understand, hey, why did I go to the gym today and I wasn't that active, or I just didn't push myself. And oftentimes we can get into that spiral of that wasn't a great workout, or I didn't burn enough calories, or whatever it is. And it's like, oh no, I understand because of the phase that I am in my cycle. And then you can kind of have a little bit more grace for yourself. On the flip side, if you have type 1 diabetes, like your cycle impacts your insulin sensitivity and your blood sugars so much, and it is not talked about enough. And so there are many times where we here at Rise with our clients, oh, 1 week my blood sugars were great, but then the next week I couldn't replicate them and I had no idea why. And if you are not tracking your cycle, like you're doing yourself such a disservice. And I think you can, when you do know where you are in your, entire, month, depending on if you're in the luteal phase, the follicular phase, the ovulatory phase, or the menstrual cycle phase, like you have different levels of insulin sensitivity and resistance in different phases. And so that can help you understand, okay, if I'm in a more insulin resistance phase, maybe it's in my benefit to go work out before I go out for pizza, right? Versus if you're in a more insulin sensitive phase, hey, maybe I don't need to go do that. And so holistic health and seeing the whole picture instead of compartmentalizing just nutrition or just exercise or, just steps or just sleep, right? Like it is all important together. On the note of sleep, like sleep is tracking. Oh my gosh. Like before you do anything, you need to understand like your quality of sleep. That's one other product that the Withings team does have, which we can talk about in a little bit, but this is their sleep map. I am going to be really transparent with you guys. I have not tried this one out yet. From what I've heard, it's great. From a few friends that I have, that I know that have used this, but I haven't used it because I am just in a season of life right now with a newborn baby where I'm like, I know that my sleep quality is not really what I'm looking to improve right now. Like because I'm waking up in the middle of the night for feedings, things like that. But sleep is like so foundational to things like your stress levels being lowered. And when your stress levels are lowered, your cortisol level is low, you can increase your insulin sensitivity, weight comes off easier, like everything is tied together. And so the watch also can track sleep. And the one that I have is the ScanWatch 2. This one is $349. And there are ones that are lower and then ones that are, less expensive, ones that are more expensive. I have like the middle tier one. And so you can look at the website and find one that is great for you. But if you can see on the screen right now, all of the data that I just talked about goes to an app on your phone. And this is one singular app that actually aggregates all the data for any products from Withings that you have. So right now, the two products that I've mainly been using have been the ScanWatch 2 and then the Body Scan, which is incredible. I'll show you that in a second. But that just takes like a scale to like the next level because it gives you so much more insight than just like your weight, which is only one part of it. But I love seeing everything in one space on the app because you can just scroll and see, oh, okay, that's where my, for instance, steps are. And then you can click into steps and it shows you an entire graph of like where it was yesterday, where it was the day before, like what your trend is, if it's been going up or down. And then you can go to the next one. You can look at, BMI or, body fat versus, muscle in your body and like sleep. It all breaks down and it's in one place. So instead of going to like multiple different apps, I think that's what I liked most about the cycle syncing aspect of it, where tracking your cycle is like you're going to this app, and then tracking your workouts, you're going to this app. Like this is all one consolidated place. And I think they did a really good job with the interface. So with the Withings team, if you guys are on right now, which I know you are, send the feedback to the team that it was super easy to set up. And I really had a good user experience because I'm not a super techie person by any means. I don't know if people would be surprised because I am, like I'm a millennial, I should be like good with tech, but I'm just like, I can't figure it out. Like I don't want to do it. It was like so easy to set up. So that is about the ScanWatch. If anybody has any questions, like go ahead and put that in the chat. I'm happy to, answer people specifically. One other thing about the watch is that it has a 30-day battery life. And so you really don't have to charge it a ton. And I think that is a plus because I hate having things that you go to grab for and then it's dead and you're just like, oh, like shoot, now I can't, track my workouts day or whatever it is. So I'm a big fan of this watch. You guys will see me wearing it. And yeah, like you just click on the side and then there's a dial that you turn. My heart rate right now is 99. I've walked 4,230 steps today so far, 1.86 miles. And then only 4 floors. And then I did my workout this morning. Oh, it also does your heart rate, which is cool too. I haven't really used that feature as much. So yeah. And oh, there's also, I love this. There's a breathe. I don't know if you can see, there's a breathe app here. And so you really just like click on that feature and then you can set the duration to how long you want to. And then you can just remind yourself to take a meditative break in the middle of the day to lower your stress levels and even can help with lowering your blood sugar, which is so cool that we have the power to do that with just our breath. So that's a little bit about the ScanWatch 2. Moving on to talk about the body scan scale. So I want to preface this with what I said earlier. And if you're just hopping on now, like I'm going to say it again, I used to have a good relationship with scales to the point where like for years, I did not weigh myself because I was so triggered by whatever it showed. If it was up, I would feel like just down for the day and like, oh, like what the heck, like what contributed to this? And I would just spiral. Like I'm an obsessive personality like that. And so that's what would happen. Or if it was down, I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm doing good. And it was like so much of a source of, I think, my self-worth and like validating the work that I was putting in at the gym or with nutrition. And when you shift your relationship away from that being your weight being a sense of your self-worth and it just being a metric, literally just like, this is your body. We all have one. It is, just not something that we need to obsess over. We can get a little bit more just curious about what the insights can tell us and have it dictate what we want to, improve on. So for instance, everybody is always focused just on weight And what this scale has that normal scales don't have, also, this is like such good quality. It looks so good in our master bathroom that we just moved into a new house a couple months ago. But anyways, you step on it and then you pull this up while you're stepping on it and you just hold it. And there's these like, I guess like sensors here, and you just hold on to it. And then it pops up on the screen here. It shows you things beyond just your weight. It shows you your weight, yes, but it also shows you, which is really important, your percentage of fat to muscle mass. And now why this is important, whether you have diabetes or you don't, is because the more muscle that you have in your body, the more easily your body is able to A, lose fat, and B, take the sugar out of your bloodstream and deliver it to your muscles and tissues that need it, and you don't have a high blood sugar for longer. And so for diabetics that are type 1, pre-diabetic, or type 2 diabetes, like, you need to focus on muscle. Do not just go to the gym and don't do cardio. I used to be a cardio bunny myself, but like, that is not helping you work towards your goals, right? If you want to be able to lose weight, if you want to improve your blood sugars, if you want to be able to, just like feel better, like working on increasing your muscle mass is important. However, it can be arbitrary, right? Like, you can feel if you don't have a data point to look at and compare it to week, you're gonna go do weights and they're gonna come home and you're gonna be like, I don't know, like, did that work? Like, I've been doing this routine for 2-3 weeks, but I need something to validate it. And years ago, when I was a group exercise instructor, there was something at the gym at my college that was like, you had to go into the gym and it was this like big body chamber. And I don't know if like that is what gyms are still using to be able to help people understand their body to muscle to fat percentage of mass in their body. But like, the fact that Withings has this product that is in your house is so revolutionary, right? Because it is empowering you with knowledge about your body that takes 2 seconds. Like, literally, you step on the scale, you hold the bar, and within, I don't know, like under 90 seconds, you have all of this data. And the data goes straight back into the Withings app on your phone. And so I have that on my, my app on my phone. And once again, you can just see everything in one place. Any measurement that you're taking with, whether it's the watch, the scale, or any other product, is automatically syncing to the Withings app. There's no delay. And it means basically that your health information is obviously always up to date. And so what I like about this too is sometimes we forget that, I don't know, like, it takes positive reinforcement to keep us going on our journey. And if you are not tracking where you were, let's say a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, it's hard to see what that progress is. And so having it all in one place is really, is really helpful. So in addition to looking at your weight, your fat mass, and muscle mass, it's also looking at your standing heart rate and your vascular age. And I thought that was really innovative and interesting, where your vascular age is the health of your arteries, and a vascular age that's higher than your chronological age may suggest that you have increased health risks. And so in addition to this, just these products giving you insights into where you currently are, it is a preventive tool in a way, because if you are seeing changes that don't align with where you should be, or if it's going in a direction on your app that is not trending in the right direction, like, you can bring that to your healthcare professional and talk to them about it. So once again, the 2 products I have and I have personally used have been the ScanWatch 2 and then the Body Scan Scale. If you are interested in getting either one of them, you can use the code Lauren for 20% off. And so once again, if you're just coming on, this is the scale. I can see it moving right now because I'm holding it. But those things like are also good for the person in your life for like Mother's Day or Father's Day, or, a partner present. When I opened this, my husband was like, what is that? Like, we haven't had a scale in our house in so long. And I was like, no. And I'm explaining it to him and he was like, wait, can I use it? Like, that's so cool. So my husband also, Chris, he goes to the gym a lot. And so he is going into like the sauna, like he's interested in, health beyond just once, going to do cardio and coming home. Like it's like one of his passions, I guess, like both of ours. And so if you have like somebody who is interested in health, like I do think that is going to be like a great gift, whether it's like, once again, for Mother's Day, Father's Day coming up, or a birthday, a holiday. I think people would really appreciate it. I think I'm gonna actually get my dad one because I think he would like it. So anyways, those are the those two products. And then I want to talk a little bit about just like a complete picture of your health and kind of bring it back and anchor us back into that. So I think what I've heard from a lot of people is that they're overwhelmed with whether it's a goal to improve their blood sugars or lower their A1C or lose weight or increase muscle and decrease body fat percentage. Like, they are overwhelmed with where to start, right? It's the whole idea of like, do I focus on nutrition? Do I focus on exercise? Like, what is the thing? And I just want to be told a plan to follow. And what I've learned in, my own journey with type 1 diabetes and also my, fitness journey, as you will, I kind of want to say, and then also the thousands of people that we've coached at Risely Health, is that the absolute key, bottom line, hard stop to getting to a place of your goals with whatever, it is for you, is getting to know your own body's patterns. Like, that is so crucial. We're in a society right now where we're looking constantly outwardly for education and to be told what to do, where a lot of times the answers are within ourselves, and no pun intended, like with things within ourselves, but like it really is. And I'm somebody who used to follow diet plans and workout plans, and all these things can be helpful tools to help you understand, how to do something if like you're entering the space of working out for the first time or eating healthy or whatever it is. But ultimately, you have to know how everything connects for you. And so the reason how, like the way I was able to transform, my blood sugars and my diabetes and get to a place where I was working with it instead of against it, was really from looking at all the different areas of my health. And a lot of things that like this watch, and then plus the body scale, scan scale, like it tracks. So sleep and stress and your menstrual cycle, and your your blood pressure, like all of those, your heart rate, like all of those things connect. And then also outward things that maybe this doesn't look at, which is, for instance, your relationship to food, your relationship to diabetes, your relationship to your health. And I bring that up because at the foundation, these are all insights and metrics that can help us, but you have to have a good relationship with yourself and your health first. Because if you don't recognize that our health is the biggest thing that we have, like it's on a foundational level, like the thing that needs to be number one, because everything else goes down if you are not healthy. Like, that's the most simple way to put it. And I think a lot of people wait until they're sick. A lot of people wait until they're burnt out. A lot of people wait until they get a diagnosis or something's wrong before taking action. And it's like, this isn't and shouldn't be something that you are just doing as a reaction to bad news. Like, we have to be proactive about it. And that is truly like one of my missions, and what I feel like I am here to do and talk about to people and inspire them is like, it's not about perfection. It's about possibility. It's about the possibility of like what you can do with your life when you do focus on your diabetes or your health in general if you don't have diabetes. And I think that has changed a lot for me and the trajectory of many things, my career, my relationships, my happiness, because I prioritize my health first. Being a first-time mom, I am, 3.5 months postpartum, and I do have support from family, and like everybody has been, coming over and helping with the baby or helping with like laundry, things like that. And when they ask me like, hey, like, what do you need help with? Or like, what do you want to sleep when when we're over? Like, do you want to what do you want to go out with, your husband for like Chris for a meal? Like, I'm like, no, I want to go work out. Like, I want to go do something that's going to make me feel good. Sometimes it's sleeping, but a lot of times recently it has been going for a walk, getting outside, getting movement in, because I can correlate. And through the app on the phone, it's so great to see, like, if I'm having a low mood day, and then I look at the app and I'm like, oh, like, you literally have not gotten more than like 1,000 steps today. Like, oh, you are in this phase of your cycle. Oh, it just helps you understand yourself more. So learn your body's patterns. That is the message here. And then use products and tools like the ones that I have or that Withings offers on their website to be able to push you forward on your health journey, and motivate you. Be a competitor with yourself, or get somebody else to track their steps as well, or their workouts or whatever it is, and say, hey, I want to compete with you. Like, we need some accountability here. So on that note, I'm going to move on to talking about the sleep tracking mat. So this is something that I'm going to be interested to try once my baby is sleeping through the night, and once I am not breastfeeding and having to wake up in the middle of the night anymore. But this goes underneath your mat here, and it really is or underneath your mattress, and it helps gain insights for your sleep patterns, I should say. And I see a lot of people, especially in our coaching programs at Risely, who are like, I don't know what it is. I can't lose weight, or, I can't improve my insulin sensitivity, or my blood sugars are crazy. Like, it must be, I need to, do X, Y, and Z. And whatever their X, Y, and Z thing is like this like complicated plan. And I'm like, whoa, like, let's bring it back. Let's look at the basics. Tell me where your stress levels are, and tell me where your first foundational pillar is prioritizing your health and getting buy-in to know that this is something that is worth prioritizing. Then the next level here, before you go to nutrition, before you go to exercise, before you go to anything else, is your sleep and your stress levels, because those are the behind the scenes players that you don't even know that are at play, but are impacting your ability to do things like shed fat, increase your insulin sensitivity, and also like help regulate your nutrition. So a fun fact is, when you have sleep debt, your hunger hormones are increased by 30% the next day. And so if you're ever having a day where you're feeling like, oh my God, all I'm doing is like craving carbs and thinking about carbs, and I just, then that's causing blood sugar spikes to happen. Once again, it's not about not eating the snack. It's not about not eating those carbs. It's about, let's go to the root of the problem. Let's look at your sleep from last night. So with your sleep, if you're going to bed different times every night, or you're going to bed but you're having like multiple interruptions in the middle of the night from like your CGM alarms because your blood sugar is going high or low, right? Or you're going to bed because you are not happy in your job and you're binge watching, Netflix, and kind of like avoiding, getting up for work the next day. I hear that like more often than you would think. That is something where your sleep health, right, and your sleep health score, like, it does matter. And sometimes the answer is actually simple and it's a lot less complex, but oftentimes we need something to be able to reflect back to us where we are at, because sometimes we talk to people in our coaching members where I'll ask them like, hey, how's your sleep? And they'll say, oh, it's good. I sleep, 6 to 7 hours a night. And then you are like, all right, I want you to rate your sleep on a scale from 0 through 10. And they say, a 7 or whatnot. And then I'm like, okay, like, let's just focus on your sleep patterns and see what it would look like if you went to sleep an hour earlier and you got 8 hours instead of 7 hours. Like, let's just have an experiment here. And even just like an hour difference, or when their blood sugar numbers improve, let's say, and they're not waking up as many times throughout the night. And then after the program, we go back and rate their sleep. And I'm like, hey, you put 7, at the beginning of the program. And now what would you say you're at? They'd be like, oh my God, I'm at like an 8 or 9 now, but there was no way I was at a 7. Like, I was 100% like at like a 4, right? And so once again, like, tracking your progression of how things improve with your metrics, in this case, sleep, is really important, and like, do not bypass it. Sometimes it's easier to bypass things that we can't see as much. And so we can see weight, we can see calories, we can see blood sugars, we can see body fat percentage, but like, we can't see sleep in the same way. And so having something that gives us that data to show us can help us be more proactive in improving it, or justifying and knowing that, hey, on days that I'm sleeping better, my hunger hormones are more stable, my appetite is more regulated, I'm not, just being more reactive with my blood sugars, I'm being more proactive. So it is, once again, like, the entire picture that matters. So take into account looking into the sleep mat if you feel like that's something that you really want to improve, and like, could be an underlying source of insulin resistance or reason for not being able to like lose weight, or whatever your goals are. Because from what I understand about this product, there's a sleep score in the app that you get, and that would be extremely helpful to be able to see and like quantify how great and good is my, sleep, my sleep, last night or over the past couple of weeks or, months. And so that sleep score is providing really a comprehensive and easy to understand assessment of your sleep, and looking at duration, depth, regularity, and disruptions. So make that a goal if that is something that you want to work on. And then lastly, we're going to talk about the BPM Connect. So this thing is really cool. My dad last year or the year before, I want to say, he was having like just blood pressure challenges, and like sorry, that's not actually what it was. He needed to be put on medication, and the medication was significantly like having like a really big impact on his blood pressure. And so the doctor wanted him to track his blood pressure every single morning at like the same time and then send it to him. And he in the wintertime and my mom, they are snowbirds and they go from New York to Florida. And so I was visiting them, and they were fussing with like the blood pressure machine, and they were like it was a cheap one from like CVS, and they were like trying to get it on, and they were like, oh, we have to go buy a new one. And now it's like they have to do it every day at like 8 a.m. And now like they're going to get the blood pressure machine. And then I'm like looking at how my dad is tracking it, and he has like all them written down on just like random post-it notes. And I'm like, Dad, like you got to like consolidate this. Like this is stressing me out. Like we need to get you like a better machine. And so I don't even know if they ended up like finding a better one, but I thought this one was cool because if you're somebody who has a family member who needs like regular checking of their blood pressure, this blood pressure machine is awesome. It is once again a smart device, and so we are in the age of technology. So why are we still using old school things when we can use something like the BPM Connect? And so this is a clinically validated and tested blood sugar pressure monitor, and it goes once again right to the app, and you can share it with your doctor. And so you can share all the trends that are happening and write to them so they know, and you can gain these insights and better understand just your blood pressure readings so that you can stay informed and your doctor can stay informed. And so you can see here on the screen what those look like in the app. The battery for this lasts up to 6 months, I believe, with one single charge. So if you do have somebody in your family who's older and needs something like this, they don't have to fuss with like cords or anything like that. So that is a plus. And then all to say, like, as a kind of like a recap here with the app, when you get all of these products, you'll have specific instructions to just download from the App Store. It's free, the Withings app, and it'll centralize all the data, all the insights, and any measurements that you take on any of their devices are going to automatically sync within the app and make sure it's up to date. So that version is free. And then they also have a paid version of the Withings app where it's a subscription for $9.95 a month or $99.95 a year. And with that, you get like there's Can you guys see me? Let me know in the chat if you guys can see me. Oh, there we are. Okay, we had a little freeze for a second. So anyways, you can use Lauren to get 20% off any of the products. What I will say is like, it is hard on things that don't feel like a necessity at the time. But then when you think about it, like when you get one of these products, like you have it to use every single day and can help you get you towards your goals with your health. And on top of it, if you have FSA or HSA funds, this is something that people do not utilize enough. We are constantly telling people for our coaching programs also to use your FSA and HSA dollars, but they're tax-free funds. And so if you have those, I really highly encourage you using them towards products like this that can help you not only just like be healthier, but to feel better in your body, feel more in control of the time that you are putting in at the gym or with your nutrition or, with your health routine, because you need to quantify it to be able to know if you're making progress. I think that's a big thing that I've learned in my own journey. So all to say, I'm just gonna scroll here and see if there's any questions. Miko was assigned to gift 2 watches and had to have the 30-day charge. I wanted a sapphire face, found them here, amazing. Yeah, so the scale supports up to 8 user profiles. So that is a benefit if you have multiple people in your house, because they are gonna see you using it and then they're gonna wanna use it. The code is available for 24 hours. So 3 p.m. on Saturday, the 26th. And then Hillary and Pam asked, like, how is this different from the Apple Watch and how does it compare to Aura? So Aura and Apple Watches are other, same, smart products. I will say for me, I am somebody who has never invested and bought an Apple Watch. And I think the reason being is, one, I've seen so many friends who have like wear it and they are constantly like taking it on and off because it looks good in like a fitness setting, but not like a work setting. And I think the majority of the time you're in a work or going out to dinner, or whatever it is setting versus the, hour a day if you're doing that of a workout. And so if you're looking at me right now, right, like I am wearing this half athleisure wear because it's a Friday, but like half polished because I'm doing this, outfit. And this just matches perfectly. So I like it. I just like the way it looks better and it's so much lighter. It's so light. And then also for the Aura Ring is, I don't know. I just have never gotten that either. Not to say that I won't get it, but it tracks a lot of similar things, I believe, but I actually am not so informed on that. All I know is that, this does a lot of what I would get that for. So I have this and I like it so far. So I'm not, getting the Aura Ring for that reason as of right now. Any other questions? Let's see. Okay. Sean, so glad to hear you've had a good experience with these products. Sean, I'm curious if you've seen your health improve from using these products. Like, have you seen like it be easier to hit your health goals? And then let's see, other questions. Yes, and then Heather, the analog look rather than the full digital screen, definitely a plus. And also comparison to the Apple Watch, like this looks like an actual watch versus the digital screen. I like it. Sally, which product would you recommend for cycle tracking? This is the watch that I have. It is the ScanWatch 2. I don't know if the Withings team is in, if you can share if any of the lower tier other watches have the menstrual cycle ability, but I can show you. Let me take this off. I'm going on the live on my phone right now where I would show you my back end of my app. But you move it and then there's a section called cycle. Oh, so for me, it's not going to be helpful what I'm going to show you because I actually haven't had my cycle come back yet since I've had my baby. And so I haven't been able to use it yet, but it's set up in the app so I can see when I do and log when I do get my first period. Oh, and great. Okay. All the watches track menstrual cycle. So any watch that's calling your name, Sally. But yeah, like, I don't know if you use, Sally, like another app outside of, like another app that you track your cycle in, but it is nice to have it in just like this one place with all of your other metrics. I like it. Does the watch track biking? Yes, it tracks activity. And so you'll be able to log your workout and then you can choose, like you could just go on your bike ride in and log it. And you will need to have your phone for GPS tracking for that. Yeah, so when I set up the interface of it on the app, it just had me go to my location settings and choose like, allow access to, and then once you do that, it syncs up. Amazing. Okay, so we're gonna start wrapping up here. Any last questions, put them in the chat box, but thank you so much for joining me. This has been fun. I like this. This is a good like Friday afternoon activity. Once again, I am big fan of the watch, the scale, and then the sleep mac I have not tried. And then there's also the blood pressure machine. And so go to the website, check out more of their products, and let me know, send me a DM on Instagram if you get any of them and if you use it and how your experience is. But everything from like the customer support to the delivery of the product, how it's packaged, to taking it out, like it's prime. They do it all right. And so it'll be a good experience with the company. And yeah, I'm just excited for you to be able to join the Withings family. Amazing. What info does the sleep mat give you that the watch does not? Well, I think for me, I'm not I'm not somebody who wants to be sleeping with the watch. And so I think the sleep tracking mat can be helpful if you just want to use that. And then also like use the mat to sync it up to the app instead of like your watch. Like I wouldn't sleep with this. People do, and you can, but like to have variety of how you want to use it, for sure. Now let me see if I have any other notes that I want to share with you on the app. I mean, on the sleep tracking mat. It looks like, okay, so this is tracking sleep just generally, but the mat specifically, it tracks sleep cycles and provides detailed breakdowns of time spent in each stage. So once you understand your sleep cycles and your patterns, and like you can identify the potential like disruptions, that you can make adjustments to things like your sleep, and that'll help you increase your amount of time spent in your REM sleep. And, you know, it'll also track your heart rate at the same time. So you can just get more insights there. Okay. Oh, I like that. Sean, sleep mat does breathing quality, snoring, and more detailed sleep cycles. Yeah. So like I said, I haven't used the sleep mat specifically for me yet. And so I can't speak to that. I was just looking at some notes that I had on the product, but it looks like great, and I can't wait to use it when I do. So anyways, that is all for me, guys. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you Withings team for collaborating with me on this, and for the just like amazing experience of product line that you have created and range. You guys are doing great things for just helping people stay healthy and also feel good wearing using your products. So everyone have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.